Good morning, everyone. Okay, we're sort of awake. Okay. Welcome to Fayetteville Tech, and welcome new Trojans. Yeah, come on. Yes. All right, so we have a lot of information for you this morning, but before we get started, I would like to ask our president, Dr. Mark Sorrells, to please come up.
So good morning to you and welcome to Fayetteville Technical Community College. We are the third largest community college in the North Carolina community college system. I will tell you, we are also the best community college system in this entire country. So students, you've made a very wise choice to start early in getting your college credits and moving toward a career. One of the challenges we have in Cumberland County, North Carolina, and the nation is we don't have enough students that graduate that persist in going on to college and finishing to get that credential or degree that we need. And that's why we right now are facing a labor shortage in high skill, high demand jobs. And we're doing everything we can here in Cumberland County to meet that need. Why? Because our economy is growing. We've been the #1 state in the United States 2 years in a row for economic development. This year we were second to Virginia by 4 points on the scale. So, we've got a job to do, and you're part of our future. You're our future leadership, you're our future workforce in these high demand, high skilled, and yes, very good paying jobs. If you're interested in our healthcare areas, those jobs range from starting pay in the mid 40s to mid $70,000 a year. If you're in IT and computer technology, those jobs can range again from the high 40s to the $70,000 range. Public service jobs, high demand. Law enforcement, we have a state-of-the-art, one of the best in the state of North Carolina and probably one of the most comprehensive in the United States, because we're building, it will be a $43 million facility. It has the only indoor swift water training. When Hurricane Debbie came through and the floods, we're training all of our emergency response team how to do swift water emergency rescue in a very safe and very comprehensive manner. We're the only community college in the eastern United States that has that type of capability right now. So we're innovative, we're unique. We're excited to have you on campus. Now I'm going to tell you, it will be a little bit of a different experience because we are big. It is a big campus, but please don't hesitate to ask for help. I need a location. If you go on and you'll see this. There is a link on our website that will give you a wayfinder map that is just like Waves or Google Maps that says, if I'm here and I want to go there, how do I get there? And it'll map it out for you. It will also break up into a building and help you find the actual class room that you need to be going to. We have a lot of resources you're going to learn about. But if you don't ask for help, you're not going to be able to access those, okay? Now, what I will say to you is it is a sign of courage to raise your hand and say, I don't know, I need help. Do it every day, okay? The other thing for parents, I'm going to tell you, we are working toward not only developing the mind, but developing the body and the spirit. Character is very important. And what we hear from employers all day long is we can teach the technical skills. What we can't teach are those essential life skills that our employees need to have. Show up on time, work through adversity, be able to collaborate, communicate well. Those are the things that we're trying to infuse. The other thing that we're seeing, a lot of industry today are not requiring a 4-year degree to get a job. They are asking for credentials that align to their needs, and they're asking for experience. Well, how do you get experience if you're a student? Well, we have apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, internships, and yes, we actually have some on-campus work experiences that you can engage in that can pay you while you're learning your skills. So I'm going to leave you with that because I know this group has a very heavy load of information to give you, but welcome. We're excited for you to be here, and if there's anything I can do to help you along the way, parents or students, please don't hesitate to get in touch with my office. Thank you so much, and welcome to Fayetteville Tech.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask Dr. Doris Munoz to please come up and give us a welcome from Student Services.
Good morning again, everyone. Thank you all so much for your help when we were trying to get everyone in. Like I said, just to think this is half of the alphabet in this room right now. So welcome. I am so honored to be in my role here at Fayetteville Tech as the Associate Vice President for Student Services. And within my portfolio falls the High School Connection program. And I am so honored to be able to work alongside with you to help you achieve your goals, your dreams, meet your aspirations, whatever that may be. Over the next few years while you're here in our program, I hope that you are challenged to think outside the box. I hope that you are pushed to expand your creativity, but also I hope that you make relationships. It is truly the success as you grow up and become who you're going to become. It is those relationships that truly help. Your mentors, your coaches, your friends, your family members. So keep that in mind as you come here every day for class. Don't just get off the bus and say, oh, I'm just going to class. Get off the bus and say, hey, I'm coming here to make something of myself. I'm coming here to make a difference in my goals and who I want to be. So when you get off that bus every day or when you drive and you park your car, just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You've already done the hardest part. You signed up and you're here. You're taking that step. And that is not easy. That is definitely not easy. So props to you for doing that. And I hope that you have a fantastic experience. Like Dr. Sorrells was saying, the hardest part is asking for help. So ask for help. We have tons of resources and services here to meet your needs to help you be successful. So if you should need anything, the High School Connection staff and Tony Rand are fantastic, and they will be there to serve you. And then if you should need my assistance for anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Welcome.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into things here. We have a lot to cover. This PowerPoint slide is in the orientation handbook that you received a copy of, as well as some of the other information that we're going to be going over so that you can follow along if you would like. We're going to do our best to answer all of your questions today, but I do realize that you may come away with some very specific questions that weren't covered in the PowerPoint. So you will see throughout the area, and a lot of the volunteers have a QR code that you can scan and you can enter your question, and we will definitely follow back up with you on Monday. So if you see folks with this yellow scan me, that's going to be for those very, very specific, just about you kind of questions, not the general things that we're going to be going over this morning, okay? All right, so we're going to hope that everything we cover here today is going to help prepare you for a very successful school year, and so that you can, parents, that you leave here knowing that your children are going to have a meaningful and safe experience with us, And we're also going to tell you about some of those resources that Dr. Munoz and Dr. Sorrells referenced so that we can help you along the way. All right, just as a brief overview, High School Connections is a part of the North Carolina Career and College Promise umbrella. So this is a collaborative opportunity with North Carolina Community College System, the public school systems, private and home schools, Fayetteville Tech here specifically. So this is a statewide initiative. Here at Fayetteville Tech, we have branded our Career and College Promise High School Connections. So that's what you'll hear us refer to it as, but in other places of the state, you may hear it referred to as Career and College Promise. So I'm going to ask the team to come forward. Where are the guys? Did they disappear? So we have with us here today our career coaches. And I'm sorry, I didn't even start off by introducing myself. I'm Pam Gibson. I've been acting as the interim coordinator for High School Connections. I am also Dean of Engineering and Applied Technology here at the college. But I'm also very glad to announce that as of Thursday, we have Mr. Piper Hutchins, go ahead and wave, who is our new coordinator for High School Connections. Let's give him a welcome. So you'll still see me around because I'm not going to just, throw him into the deep end and run away. But he is going to be taking over as coordinator. We also have with us Christian Roman, Zasha Abella, Ben Fisher, our fabulous records clerk, Timothy Tucker, and then not here with us because you will see him over in ATC later this morning is Gary Womble. So these are the faces of the people in the High School Connections office who are here for you and can help you with your needs. Thank you. All right, also wanted to let you know about our link tree. So I will put this back up later on at the end of the presentation so that you can scan that QR code. But this is a place where you can access all of our High School Connections forms, our resources, information, contact information, things like that. So if you would like to scan that QR code and link up with our link tree, it's a fast, easy way on your phone to get access to the forms. I know a lot of us still like paper, but we are trying to go digital as much as possible, save some trees. And I will put this back up at the end of the presentation. Okay, so just a very brief overview. There are two pathways for High School Connections. One of them is the college transfer pathway, so many of you may be doing that. These are courses that are intended to transfer to the university. So we suggest that you take the ACA 122 class in your first semester. This is a college transfer success course. It is to help you be successful in that transfer process. The pathways, there's different ones: Associate in Arts, Associate in Science, Associate in Engineering, approximately 11 to 13 courses in those pathways. Those pathways are then intended to get you started on the actual associate degree. So the option to take some foreign language classes. So as the name suggests, it's about college transfer. Then we have career and technical education. So many of those career fields that Dr. Sorrells referenced, where there is such a demand for a workforce, that is career and technical education. That is those specific certificates, degrees, diplomas, where you are going to be able to go to work in a very lucrative, very high demand career. If you are following a CTE pathway, those are set up as certificates that will allow you, if you successfully complete that program, to graduate with us. I think that is the coolest thing in the world, that you are going to participate in our commencement ceremony in May, and in most cases walk across our stage before you even walk across the stage for high school. How cool is that, right? So we want you to make sure you're doing what you need to do to complete that certificate, because I want to see you walk across that stage. All right, so let's talk about the first day. So we're going to talk about your schedules, how to read those, We're going to talk about the available resources on the campus. We're going to have folks here to talk to you about campus safety. Now, you received your schedules today. Those schedules were printed as of Wednesday of this week. So if anything changed since Wednesday, if you submitted a course change or something like that, that's not going to be reflected on what we gave you today. So please understand that. Also, if you are in need of course changes, we do have some deadlines coming up for that because we are getting ready to start the semester and we want you to be successful. We can't have you drop into a course late in the class, you don't know what's going on, you've already missed things. That's not going to help you, it's not going to help us. So we have courses that start on Monday, the 19th. For those courses, if it is a 16-week course, the whole semester, that course change deadline is Thursday, the 22nd. If it's a first 8 weeks class, that deadline is Tuesday. Now, a lot of you are in our classes that don't start until the 26th. The deadline for course changes for that is the 29th. So please keep that in mind. If you are contemplating course changes, we've got some deadlines in place that we're coming up on very quickly, and you have to work through your high school to make those course changes happen. They have to sign off on that for us. So please plan accordingly if that is something that you need to do. All right. So, understanding your schedule and self-service. Self-service is your student portal. That is where you're going to find information on how you are progressing in your pathway, your schedule, your grades. All of that information is going to be in self-service. If you have not yet logged into self-service, that's okay. Don't panic yet because we have people here today, and I'm going to talk more about that later, who are going to be able to help you get logged in for the first time so you can access your self-service portal. This is where you're going to find all of that information. So we want you to check self-service regularly. That's where if you have schedule changes, that's where it's going to show up. You're going to see that change in your schedule in self-service. All right, so being successful, you need to know what's happening when. So make sure that you're marking important dates on your calendar. This is going to be a good tip for your due dates for your classes. Have a calendar or use something either on your phone, paper calendar. We actually have a paper calendar for you at the back of your orientation handbook. Understanding course codes, I'm going to go over scheduling and talk about that a little bit more, but our course codes kind of tell you something about the course. So we're going to look at schedules and make sure that we're in the right classes. We're going to also look at your schedules. It's going to tell you where your classes are, and you'll have an opportunity today to walk around campus and find that so you know where to go the first day. And your schedule is also going to tell you who your instructor is. All right, so this is a sample schedule. I want to point out some things to help you understand how to read it. So in the column that says start date, some of you might have a start date of Monday, August 19th. That's going to be the case if you're taking any of our traditional or what we call concurrent classes, because our traditional schedule starts on Monday. So it's very important that you're looking at that start date. But some of you might have dates that say maybe August 26th or August 27th. Those are going to be our high school connection specific sections. So we have 5H is the code sections that are set up just for high school students. So if it's a Monday, Wednesday class, it's going to start on August 26th. If it's a Tuesday, Thursday class, it's going to start on August 27th. Okay, so look at your dates, look at your start dates. Because if you're signed up in concurrent classes, regular classes, that starts Monday, even though regular high school might not start until the 26th for you. So be very aware of that. If you had schedule changes, you might see something that says delete. So when we've changed your schedule, it doesn't come off of that. It just says delete next to that. So please don't let that confuse you. If you see anything that says delete, that means we did a schedule change for you. If you're taking a fully online class, no face-to-face meetings, it's going to say meeting time to be determined. It's going to say building and room, DEDINET, internet, right? You're not going to see a meeting location. You're not going to see a meeting time. That tells you that that class is fully online, and you will be taking that through our online platform called Blackboard, which is another thing that you're going to need to make sure you can get logged into. So when we talk about tech checks later, make sure that you're going to participate in that. And then if you're doing a face-to-face class, you may see it broken up into 2 lines. That is because a lot of our classes have both a classroom portion and a lab portion, and you will need to attend both. So make sure that you're reading all of it. So this example, for example, the physics class meets for class on Tuesday, Thursday at 9 a.m., but it meets for lab on Monday at 9 a.m. Okay? So make sure you're looking at all of the pieces for the class. Make sure that, if it's a face-to-face class and that's what you wanted, that that's correct. If you want it online, make sure that it's saying that it's online. Okay? Now, you will see tuition information on this as well. Your tuition is waived, but your student fees are not. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But your tuition is waived. All right, so I'm looking out here. I think everybody's tracking with me here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about getting to class. So I mentioned you're going to have in-person classes. Make sure you know the date that that class starts. Take the time while you're here on our campus today to go find the classroom so you know where to go that first day. So we have sections that are 5H, that are for just high school students, that don't start until the week of the 26th, and then we have traditional classes. We have online classes. There is not a specific time that you have to be online, but it's going to be very, very important that you set that time aside for yourself. So you need to figure out this day of the week, these 2 days of the week, this time I'm going to be getting on the computer and doing my work, because there will be assignments due every week. And it doesn't take much to fall behind in an online class. So you're going to have to be very disciplined about that, making sure that you're getting online and doing that work. And then there may be, for some of you, some classes that are going to be at your high school. We do have some classes that are taught at your high school. That's also going to be on your schedule. Those will be 5H sections, but you'll see the location will be like a shorthand for your school. Like we have some at Jack Britt for High School, for example. The location is going to say JBHS, and that's going to let you know that's at your high school. All right, so for Cumberland County Schools, we do have bus transportation. I am going to ask our Career Pathways Coordinator, Ms. Brittany Rains, to come on up, and she's going to talk to you about some very high school specific things.
All right, good morning. I bring you greetings from Cumberland County Schools. I have the unique privilege to serve both Cumberland County Schools and Fayetteville Tech in this particular capacity. And today I am so excited to see all of you. You all have this is an honor to see all of you here. And I believe that you're fortunate to be able to take advantage of this great opportunity. And so with that in mind, it is a big responsibility. And so there are some procedures that we have in place and some expectations that we're going to be asking of you. 1, to keep you safe. 2, to make sure that you are meeting your goals. And 3, to make sure that you are indeed successful as you experience the High School Connections program. And so with those procedures, we have Mr. Larry Colbriff, who is our bus monitor at this time, and he is going to come on up. And what he does is he makes sure that you are getting on the bus if you're going to be using Cumberland County transportation to and from school. He makes sure that the bus is on time. He makes sure that you know where to go. He makes sure that you are leaving here off campus to get back to your high school on time as well. And so I'm going to give him just a minute to share those particular procedures, and I'm going to come right back and talk about some more of those expectations.
As Ms. Rains said, my name is Larry Colbriff, and I'm the safety monitor for Cumberland County Schools on this campus. My office is right across the breezeway in the Horace Sisk building, room 617. If you have any questions about anything, come and see me. If you have questions about anything that's going on, you can always ask your instructor. Somebody will help you. Everybody on this campus is here to help you make sure you're okay and comfortable. Now, your bus, it's important for you to make sure you get on your bus when it's time to leave your school. And it depends on the school and how far away you are. They leave at different times. Of course, somebody coming from Southview will leave later than somebody coming from a Jack Breed or a Pine Forest or a Cape Fear. So they all have scheduled times when they're coming in. I will be out front, in front of the Horace every day when those buses arrive. And I will get the bus number that comes from your school, the number of students we have that get off the bus. And when you get off the bus, you can head on to your classes. Now, the first week it's going to be a little hectic because some of you won't know where your classes are or how to get to your class, but we will have people out front to assist you with that. So don't worry about anything. We got that. When you get to class, make sure you're there on time. It's never good to walk in late, whatever you're doing. So make sure you're on time. Make sure you ask questions. Make sure you get to study groups if you need it, whatever it takes for you to get by, because everybody's pulling for you, all of you. And when you get out of class in the afternoons, I want you to come back to the Horace. I'll be there to meet you, and I'll see you off on your buses. I'll take another head count. And we also have Cumberland Polytechnic High School students out here on this campus. Those students provide their own transportation out here, but they ride our buses back. So the last few years, we've been having to put extra buses out here to make sure we get everybody off of here. But we'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you get back before 3 o'clock, because at 3 o'clock sharp, the buses roll. They have to get back to the schools, so students have to deplane or offload and go to their other bus to go home. So we have a real strict time schedule. Some of you will start arriving at about 12:20. Others will be here at 12:45. I'll be out there. Make sure you're on the bus. Make sure if you have questions, you ask them. If for any reason you have to leave leave class early for a doctor's appointment, dental appointment, anything like that, I want you to come by my office in 617. I have a sign-out sheet. I want to know who you are, what school you're from, why you're leaving, and who you're leaving with. Communication is a wonderful tool if it's used, but a lack of communication causes major problems. And if for some reason you don't make that bus, and that bus is gone, I can't call it back. It's gone. I might try to call your school, see if they got a social worker or a guidance counselor, somebody to come and get you. Most of the time, they're not really available. You may have to call a parent or a guardian or a grandma, or granddad, somebody to come out here and get you. And if they're busy doing what they do and they have to drop what they're doing and drive 20 miles out here and 20 miles back, they won't be happy. But trust in this one thing. If for some reason that happens, I will stay on this campus with you until you are safely picked up and off campus, because you're under my watch. Okay? If you got anything, I'll be around. I'll be looking around campus. If you have anything going on that I need to know in the classroom, the instructors will contact me. I will contact your guidance counselors back at the school. I welcome all of you here. We're all glad to have you here, and we're going to make sure that you're taken care of while you're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cobra. So let's talk about some expectations. So he just gave you a lot of great information that you really want to take in if you're going to be using Cumberland County Schools as transportation. So with that, just as you would at your school if you're riding the bus, we want you to have excellent behavior. And because you're here, we have even higher expectations and standards for you. So one, you've got to have good time management. You've got to make sure that you're getting to your bus at your school on time. You've got to make sure that you're getting to the bus here on time to get back to school, because as Mr. Cobra said, once the bus is gone, the bus is gone. So we've got to make sure that you have good time management and that you are being responsible for your time. Okay, number two, we got to make sure you have excellent behavior. We have zero tolerance for bad behavior. So discipline issues, know that you're putting yourself in jeopardy if you cause them, okay? We want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to be responsible. We want everybody to feel respected. We want everybody to feel welcome as they come here to Fayetteville Tech. Again, this is a privilege to participate in this program, and we would hate to see you lose it because of bad decisions. So please, please, please make sure that you are making good choices when you are here on campus. That also includes when you're on the bus, okay? So So Mr. Colbert will be on, he gets on on each bus, and he's checking with that bus driver. So if the bus driver reports any issues, that goes back to the schools, and then they will handle it from there. So know that you can lose this privilege, but we don't want that for you. Okay? Is that understood? Yes. Okay. Also, along with managing your time and having excellent behavior, you've got to manage your grades. Your grades here affect your grades at the high school. You will have Fayetteville Tech grades, you have high school grades. Your Fayetteville Tech classes, the majority of them will show up on your high school transcript. And I want you to talk to your school counselors. I want you to know who your school counselors are. At every high school, there is a counselor responsible for high school connections and making sure that students' schedules are good, making sure that students have what they need to participate in this program. Make sure you get to know that counselor if you don't already. They will help you to understand how the grades transfer, how the classes transfer to wherever you're going, how they transfer to high school credits, all of that. But it's your responsibility to make sure that you know it, okay? We want you to make sure that you understand how everything is working here as you take these classes and as you work towards progress, towards graduation. So I need you to know what your transcript is. If you've never seen your high school transcript, I want you to get a copy from your counselor at your high school. I want you to also make sure you understand that there are two transcripts. You have an FTCC transcript, you have a high school transcript. Your high school classes will not show up on your FTCC transcript, but your FTCC classes will show up on your high school transcript. And some of them will have credits, some of them will not. Just depends on the number of credit hours that you're taking here in the courses that you're taking. So do make sure that you understand how that works. And you can do that by speaking with your counselors at your high school. As Dean Gibson stated, there are different start times. So some of you may start Monday. So make sure that you're paying attention to the schedule that you have. There's not transportation for you on Monday if you're starting Monday, okay? But on the 26th, we'll be rolling, okay, with the buses. So you will have transportation on August the 26th if you're starting classes then. Also, note that some classes do not end at the traditional 2:50 time. So some of them may go a little later and you will need to arrange transportation for yourself. So do notate that on your schedules that you receive today. Make sure you're paying very close attention to those start and end times on your schedule. Also, students with courses outside of the CCS bus schedule, again, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to when your classes start and when they end. So also note that sometimes inclement weather happens. We just experienced that last week. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to Cumberland County announcements, and you're also paying attention to FTCC inclement weather announcements, because sometimes FTCC may stay open, Cumberland County schools may close. Sometimes it may switch. You want to make sure that you are getting those notifications. You want to make sure that you are referring to your schools. You want to make sure that you are checking with your FTCC schedule to see if there are any changes, okay? Because we don't want you to not show up for class because Cumberland County schools had an emergency or something and have to have an early release. We want to make sure that you are keeping up, and again, that goes back to time management and being responsible for being a college student as well as a high school student. All right, and again, I mentioned the grades. So this is a dual enrollment program, meaning that you are enrolled in high school classes, you're also enrolled in college classes. And I just want to give you a hand for doing this because it's not always easy, but it is a great opportunity, and because you're here, I know that you can handle it, and I know that you're going to be successful. So let's give ourselves a hand. So make sure that, again, you're paying attention to your credits, you're paying attention to your classes and how they transfer both to high school and for here. Lastly, you're going to get a high school schedule when you go to open houses at your high school, or you may get them on the first day of school. Your high school schedule does not read the same as the schedules you receive today. On your high school schedules, you're going to see first period, second period, third period, fourth period. Your third and fourth period more than likely are going to say Fayetteville Tech, it's going to be a Fayetteville Tech class. However, the times on there are not going to correspond with the times that you see on your schedule that you have in your hands. So I need you to make sure that you know your schedule that you receive today. Like, it's very important. I can just keep saying it and saying it because it's that important. We need you to know that. So if you see something on your high school schedule that doesn't match, don't panic. Do not panic. It's a simple fix. We just have to talk to the school counselor, and they'll get that fixed for you if it doesn't read the same course. Remember, not time, but course. We want the courses to be on your high school schedule, and that's just to get it on your transcript. And when grades come, when final grades come, they will appear on your high school transcript as well. But you will not get progress reports. On your progress reports, you will not see grades on your high school progress report from Fayetteville Tech. I need y'all to understand, you will not see progress report grades from Fayetteville Tech on your high school schedule or on your high school report. So you will have to continue to check your Blackboard, continue to check your FTCC platform to keep up with your grades. So parents, please, please, please be checking that as well if you're wanting to keep up with your students' grades as well, because it will not show up on the progress report they get from the high schools. Okay? Also, again, you get final grades at the end of the semester. So that's when you'll see FTCC grades on a high school report card. And then you'll see that on the transcript as well. So I need you to know you have two schedules. You have your high school schedule, you have your FTCC schedule. You have your FTCC schedules in your hand, and that is going to be the ultimate source for FTCC classes, not necessarily the high school schedule. Those classes should be listed, but it's not going to follow the times. It's just going to be a third or fourth period, and it may even for a little bit say placeholder because we're still working to get course codes for new classes that have been offered this semester in the system. So I ask you to extend grace to your school counselors and to your schools. We've transitioned to a new platform for student information, and they're working out the kinks. So this first week or during open house and those first 2 weeks of school, you've got your FTCC schedule, so you're good. But I ask you to extend grace to those counselors as they work to make sure things match. All right, and I'm going to turn it back over to Dean Gibson. Thank you.
So one quick addendum to the inclement weather policy that I wanted to mention. So for simplicity's sake, and because the majority of our students are Cumberland County Public Schools students, we follow the Cumberland County Schools calendar for our 5H high school specific sections. Now I know we have a lot of private school and homeschool students here. We don't want you to feel like we're ignoring you, but we do use that schedule. So if there is a day that Cumberland County Schools has no school, the 5H classes don't have class either. But if you're in a traditional FTCC class, you may still have class. So make sure you're paying attention to that as well. That is the difference. That's why we prefer for you to be in our high school specific sections. But if you're taking one that's not, you have to follow FTCC's calendar. Okay, so parents, we want you to know that safety is very, very important to us here at FTCC. We maintain a very safe and orderly campus, and I would like to bring up Lieutenant Summer Porter just to talk to you a little bit about our public safety.
For a minute there, I thought y'all weren't going to clap for me. I was like, what did I do to you? Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Summer Porter, as Dean Gibson just announced. I work for the Department of Public Safety and Security here under the Director of Public Safety, Chief Baylor, and the Assistant Director who's over here to my right, Captain Finema. We are charged with keeping you all safe. When your children are home and you are home, we are still here making sure our campus is ready for your kids to come here the next day safe. We are here 24/7, 365. After you all leave here, you're going to go to the Tony Rand Student Center, and you're going to see me again, and you're going to see us, and we're going to issue your students their student IDs, okay? On the back of that student ID, that 678-8433, that's our phone number. That's like Campus 911, okay? When you call our number, you're not going to get a busy signal. You're not going to get the nope, we're going to say, hey, what's going on? Okay? So if you need something, call us. You may not need something that you feel is public safety worthy, but trust me, since we're here 24/7, 365, we typically know the answers to some questions that doesn't even pertain to our department. Okay? If you see us, we typically look like this. This is Officer Patton in his neon shirt, so we stick out, right? That's something that sticks out. This is Lieutenant Singletary. He has on the white shirt like me, but we don't dress up all the time. We just got fancy for you guys, okay? So while you're here, I'd like to encourage all of you to travel in a buddy system if you can. Find a friend, find a homegirl, find a homeboy, and y'all stick together, okay? You all are here on a college campus. We are an open campus, so it's not just you guys here. So many different people from around the county and surrounding counties that come to get what Fayetteville Tech has to offer, okay? So try to travel in a buddy system if you can. That way you know there's safety in numbers. Throughout the campus, we have call box scattered. There's a little blue light up the top. If any of your parents are vets and you've been to the VA Center, they're all over the place. But there are blue lights up the top. There's a little button on it. If something's going on and you need to get a hold of us and you're too nervous, you can't grab your phone, you've left your phone, it's dead, hit that button, because that's going to let me know on my radio exactly where you are. And we have cameras in those areas, and we're coming, okay? And we're not just coming to hang out. We're coming to see what's going on and shoo off whoever's making you press that button. Sometimes when you press that button, it's not because you're in any type of danger or because you're afraid. Sometimes it's because you drove to school and your tire is flat and you need some air in your tire. Guess what? We can help you with that. It's raining outside. You're the first year driving a car. You forgot to turn your headlights off. Now you come out, your battery's dead. We can help you with that. Okay, there are so many things that we can help you with. If you're like me, you forget to put gas in your car. Now you run out. You're embarrassed to call mom or dad. Guess what? We can help you with that. Okay? So we're not just here to say, hey, you didn't park in the white lines only. Hey, what are you doing? We're not here to be, all up in your business, but we kind of are. But we need you to be our eyes and our ears, and you let us know. You're slacking. I don't feel comfortable. That's something that I'm going to take very personally, okay? So while you're here, please just make sure you travel in numbers. That's one of my biggest things. And if you see something, please say something. And if you need us, flag us down. Put us to work. That's our job, okay? When you come to see us in the Tony Rand Student Center today, make sure you have your vehicle registration if you do plan to drive. It does not matter if it's in Mama and Papa's name. We will still get you a parking permit. Okay, and you also, if you can remember, have your school schedule. It's going to make the ID process go extremely fast. If you don't have it, no big deal. We've been provided a list with your names on it, so we got you taken care of. If you have any questions, I encourage you to stop one of us and talk to us. We are here to help. I cannot urge you more than to say that we are here for you, and I'm so proud of you all for taking an investment in yourself and your education, and moms and dads who are saving money on education. So congratulations to you and good luck.
All right, so we're going to cover a few things that have been kind of covered already, but just to kind of re-emphasize some things. So, Student Code of Conduct. We're all familiar with the Student Code of Conduct. You have one at your high school. Guess what? FTCC has one as well. So now you are college students. So you are also expected to follow our Student Code of Conduct. So our student handbook with that Code of Conduct is available on our website. We strongly suggest that you make yourself familiar with that. We expect adult behavior because this is college now. So we want you to behave appropriately for the college environment. I mentioned the holidays and weather advisories. Remember, Ms. Raines already talked about that. You need to be checking for what's going on with your high school, but you also need to be checking for what's going on at FTCC because we don't always do the same thing. Census date. I want to talk about that for a minute. So attendance, and you're going to hear me talk about attendance a couple of times, is very important. You cannot be successful here at FTCC if you're not participating, and that involves showing up. We have something called a census date, which is the 10% point of our classes. If you have not shown up in class or done the required online assignment, if it's an online class, you will be marked a no-show for the class, and you will be dropped from that class if you have not done that by the 10% point. Now that 10% point varies from class to class, depending on if it's a 16-week class or an 8-week class, or we even have 4-week classes. So make sure day one you are present and accounted for so that we don't have to no-show you. We don't want to do that. We want you to be here, and we want you to take advantage of this opportunity. Communication. So the primary way that we at the college communicate with students is through email. Now, we will call you. We will try to call you sometimes as well, but email is our primary method of communication. Every single one of you now as an FTCC student has an FTCC Gmail account. And you'll get information on how to get logged into that. I strongly recommend, if you haven't already, download that Gmail app right there on your phone so you have ready and easy access to that email when your instructor or anybody else here at the college is trying to communicate with you. That is also going to be the best way for you to communicate with us. Mentioned attendance and mentioned that you need to show up, you need to be present, you need to participate. But if you are not, your instructor has the authority, after you have missed too much class, to withdraw you from your classes. So what does that mean if you get withdrawn from your class? A withdrawal goes on your permanent record. It will be on your FTCC transcript. Also, if you're a Cumberland County School student, your high school, if you withdrew because without permission and just because you weren't going to class, your high school may choose to give you an F on your high school transcript for that instead of a W. This is important. Now, if you're getting into a situation where something's not working out, then go talk to your counselor at your high school. And we'll try to do what's best for you. But if you're just not showing up, and let's face it, you're going to get a little bit of freedom with this. All right? We're not following you around to class. We're not telling you when you can go to your locker or anything like that. We're going to treat you like an adult here. So that responsibility is yours to come to class and do what's expected of you. Also, being late matters. So instructors can count 3 tardies as an absence. At the college level, we don't do excused absences. An absence is just an absence. So does that mean you can never miss class? Of course not. We understand things happen. People get sick. People have appointments. But there does become a point where you may be missing too much class. So you need to be thinking very carefully about when you're making appointments. If you're an athlete, hopefully that you were already advised regarding when you should be taking classes or not, so that it works around your athletic schedule. Just because you have to go to practice or you have to go to a game, that's not an excuse for not coming to class for us. We expect you to be in class. Withdrawals can only happen up until the 90% point of the class. And again, you have to work through your high school if you need to withdraw from a class. School permission is required. Again, a withdrawal is going to be on your permanent transcript. So why does that matter? Well, your permanent transcript, not only is that going to go if you are transferring to another school, it's going to go with you, but it also matters for future financial aid. Right now, you're not worried about financial aid because you're getting to do this tuition free. However, after you graduate high school, if you're going to apply for financial aid, everything you did while you were in high school counts. Every grade you got, every course, every attempt is going to be counting towards your future financial aid. And if you're not doing what you need to be doing here and you're withdrawing from classes or you're failing classes, that may negatively impact your ability to qualify for financial aid in the future. So again, even though you're not using financial aid right now, it does matter for the future. So let's make sure that we're taking this very, very seriously. Okay, working with your instructors, we're going to talk about your syllabus, and then just some things that we have here to help you be successful. So I mentioned already, email is the primary way that your instructors are going to communicate with you, so make sure that you are checking your email. We already talked about you're going to have more independence, but with more independence comes more responsibility. Dr. Sorrells mentioned it, Dr. Nuno's mentioned it. It takes courage to ask for help, but that is the responsible and adult thing to do. If you're not sure, ask someone. Ask a teacher. Ask someone in the high school connections office. You need to participate. You need to meet your deadlines. Remember what I mentioned? Keep track of your due dates. Don't let it get away from you. All right, course syllabus. There is a sample syllabus in your book. But basically, your syllabus is your guide to your class. It's going to give you your course description. It's going to give you the contact information for the instructor for the course, as well as that instructor's department chair and dean. It's going to give you the course objectives, what you can expect to learn in that course. It's going to give you the information on the required textbook. Now, I have said several times that your tuition is waived, but textbooks and materials are the responsibility of the student. Those are not waived. Those are not free. There are some classes that may not have a required textbook, but it is your responsibility to have those textbooks. Some of your instructors may give you temporary codes at the beginning of class to give you a little time to get your textbook, but the key word there is temporary. Those codes are only going to last for a couple of weeks, and then that's it. And you have to have paid for getting that textbook, getting that ebook, or that code. We do have an FTCC resource fund to assist students that have financial need in their ability to get those textbooks. Your high school counselors have those applications, and the deadline to submit those is August 29th. Okay, also on the syllabus is going to be information on how things are graded. We may weight certain things more than others. If you're in an online class, for example, the discussion boards might be weighted more than the quizzes. That's all going to be explained on your syllabus. Attendance policy is explained there, as well as the outline of instruction that's going to tell you what you can expect to be doing each week in that class. All right, student responsibilities. We all know what plagiarism is, right? That's not anything that's specific to college, right? I'm sure that your high school English teachers have talked to you about plagiarism. Plagiarism is also not allowed here at college. So you are expected to submit your own work, your own original work. Okay? Email. In your book, there is some tips for good email communication. I suggest that you review that. When you are emailing us, tell us who you are, what your need is, what the class is that you're specifically needing assistance with, your ID number, which helps us identify you. You know, we have a whole lot of John Smiths in our system. So you just tell me I'm John Smith, I might not be able to find you. Right? So look at that. There's some good tips in your handbook for that. And then again, attendance, participation is necessary. Academic integrity, honesty, that's plagiarism, but also being honest in your work. SSE alerts. So SSE is our student advising system. And if you log into that SSE system, you're going to see who your advisor is and be able to contact them and message them through that system. That is another tool for you to be successful and to communicate with us. And then again, your academic calendar, making sure that you're following your due dates, deadlines, and aware of those times when we are not in class. All right. In order to continue in the High School Connections program, you must maintain at least a 2.0 FTCC GPA. So that is at least a C. Keep in mind that if you are in a transfer program, if you get anything less than a C, that class is not going to transfer. You must have at least a C in the class for it to transfer to the university. So 2.0 is necessary in order for you to continue to have what we refer to as satisfactory academic progress. Okay, I've mentioned that you are responsible for your textbooks and materials. You need to have those in place by the first week of class. If you're not sure, now our bookstore, if you show them your schedule, they're going to make sure you get the right textbook. But if you're not sure, don't take the plastic off it, hang on to your receipt, and wait until you've confirmed with your instructor. But the bookstore is very good about knowing what book you are supposed to have. Also, there is a student activity fee each semester. That fee is $83. It has gone up this school year. If you are a Cumberland County Schools student, Cumberland County Schools pays that fee for you in the fall and spring semester. They do not pay that in the summer if you choose to come to us in the summer. If you are a private or homeschool student, you will be responsible for that $83 fee. And again, I mentioned the resource fund application deadline is the 29th. Parents. So we do not have a portal like Power School, although Power School is gone now, where you can go in and check on your students' grades. Instead, the best thing you can do is ask your student to share with you their login information for Blackboard. Blackboard is our online platform. It's our learning management system. and that is where they will be able to see their grades. Or you can log into SSE and see their grades as well there. But you're going to have to work with your student and ask them for their login information for you to be able to go in and look at that. There is no parent portal for you to be able to do it. And as Ms. Raines mentioned, we don't provide progress report grades or midterm grades. The only grade you'll see from us is going to be the final grade. So talk to your student. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them if they need help. Encourage them to seek help. Encourage them to be brave and put up their hand and say, I need help. All right, so we do have a variety of support services. These people are here today to talk to you. They are located in the multipurpose room of our Student Center. Student Center is the building back that way. Just going to go over this very quickly. We're almost done. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. So, disability support services. If you have an IEP, that IEP does not automatically come to FTCC. You will have to work through our Disability Support Services Department to receive any accommodations in your FTCC courses. Now, they can use your high school IEP to initially set up those accommodations, but you will have to do that with our Disability Support Services Department. It is not an automatic thing if you have an IEP at your high school. Student Learning Center. You can receive tutoring on a variety of topics and subjects here. Great resource. They also have computers that you can go in and use. That is also where our laptop loaner program is. So if you need to borrow a laptop, you can do that through our Student Learning Center. Library services. I think everybody knows what a library is. And where our library is just like other libraries, but we have all kinds of cool things to help you out. You can book a session with a librarian who can help you with your research. We have a makerspace lab. If you're wanting to create a prototype of something, we've got a 3D printer in there, all kinds of cool things. Yes Mentoring. This is our mentoring program that we would love for you to be a part of. This is just to give you an extra layer of support to help you be successful, not just here at the college, but also in life in general. Management Information Systems, that is our IT department. So, I'm going to talk to you about where you go next here in just a minute, but they are the people today who are going to help you with getting logged into some of those systems that we talked about. Blackboard, self-service, Gmail. They're going to be able to help you with that. We also have an open computer lab that you can use if you are unable to have internet access at home, or if you've got time between classes. That's a fabulous place to go and do your homework. Okay, so I mentioned early on, some of you are college transfer, some of you are CTE. If you are CTE, we actually have members of our faculty here today, and they want to spend a little bit more time talking to you and showing you around their lab spaces and letting you know where to be for that. So I'm going to be dismissing you in a minute. I'm going to ask that you please be patient just a few minutes longer so that we can kind of do this in an orderly fashion. You have a map in your handbook at the very back. You can do a self-guided tour, go find where your classrooms are. But here's a couple of things that we really want to make sure you do today. If you do not have time today, you can come back next week during regular business hours. But we would like you to visit with security in our Student Center multipurpose room to get your ID. Everybody should have their ID card. We also would like you to go to the bookstore. Our bookstore is located in our general classroom building, which is that way across the parking lot. And then I mentioned technology help. Our MIS department is located in the ATC, Advanced Technology Center building, room 120. That is our big open computer lab, and they are there to help you do what we call tech checks. So they're going to help you get set up and logged in for the first time for Blackboard, self-service, and Gmail. This is very important. So getting help set up with your first password and all of that sort of things. Make sure we get all the little glitches out because we do have a multi-factor authorization process that sometimes can be a little hard to navigate. All right, so we want to make sure that you go visit those areas. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and get those of you that are here, that are CTE, with your folks. So I'm going to just kind of run down this list. This list is in your handbook. And I'm going to call those faculty up, and they are going to escort you to their location. So I'm going to start first with, do I have Donna DeVault and Jessie Bellflowers? Jessie? Okay, so if you are accounting foundations or business foundations, you have classes that start with ACC or BUS. If you would please come down to Mr. Bellflowers, he's going to take you to your classes. Oh, you're taking healthcare? Okay, so also healthcare customer service. Healthcare customer service, if you're taking MED 121, it's an MED, healthcare customer service as well. Parents, you are welcome to come with your students. You do not have to stay here.